Hi guys, it's Amy and you have found Amy Loves Crochet. Thank you so much for your time. I sincerely appreciate it anytime you click on my videos. This is going to be a fail to fabulous in my playlist. I haven't put up one of these in a little while, I think, and I've kind of got a fail. A previous fail that I'm going to hopefully change to a fabulous, and a current is it a fail or a fabulous. So my project for today that I'm working with is the Sugarwheel yarn by Yarn Bee here. And I do have 3 full cakes of a different colorway. This one is called Mahogany Bliss, and each one of these is 355 yards. It is 100% acrylic, and they suggest a 5.5 eye hook with crocheting. So this one is a beautiful untouched hank or cake, and I had tons of scraps from previous used cakes. This one, although it does look a mess, I used a little bit of it here, but for the most part the cake is still in one piece, and I've weighed it out and it's all still there. And this one is called From the Garden. This one's one of my favorites, but one of the things that I found is this pink row had a big variation in some of the other cakes. It was almost gray. So that kind of limited me from putting some of those cakes together. And then there's this one. This one's called Honey Bunny Bun. And as you can tell, I did kind of pull some out. It does look like it's still in cake form, so I think I just pulled the center out. Maybe I needed to use a little bit of the green, or thought that I was going to, or something to that effect. It does weigh a full cake. So I'm not sure whether these are going to go on to sell on eBay, or if I'm going to still keep these in my stash and use them at a later time. So I was really happy to be able to complete this project with just my scraps. I didn't have to dig into those cakes at all. And I've actually got still some left. We've got some activity outside here. Hold on just a minute, please. All right, sorry about that. Neighbor's got some things going on, and his dog is outside, and my dogs are outside, so they're barking like crazy. Okay, make a girl forget what she was saying. Anyway, my yarn and my scraps, I just used scraps for this. So what I did is I made a pillow. Yay! I've had this sitting in here for a little while. I've done some other pillow projects, and getting the size of the material, you know, my crochet across the pillow, at the right tautness without it being stretched out and without it being too loosey-goosey. That kind of seems to be my challenge. So I'll put in the picture here of what my inspiration for this whole thing was. So I saw the pie crust top, the lattice work, and just thought it was beautiful. I don't know that I've done anything kind of like that before, so I definitely wanted to tackle it. And so I started to chain because in this picture, I'm not sure what size pillow she's using or covering. So I just had to go with my own pillow that I had. And so I see the picture and I see that they are 2 rows of double crochet. So what does Amy do? 2 rows of double crochet at the same time. Ta-da! So here are the strips that I used, as you may have assumed by the fact that I love this stitch. And I have a tutorial for this stitch. If you didn't know that, I'll link that down below. But I just did the stitch and measured across the pillow and thought that I was measuring it dead on. And I thought I was so happy with myself. And then, I don't know, somewhere along the lines, I thought that it was one too many. So I held out 2 pieces for each side, because you make a front and a back. And so I've already disassembled. This is the only one of the spares that I have left. So I left 4 pieces out of my entire project, and then I used those to sew the sides together. So I see it and I love it, but some of you may judge the fact that my straps are not touching. Okay, see, I'm all over the board. I should have made it 9 straps by 9 straps, and I actually made it 8 straps by 8 straps. And so I didn't think about how many stitches were in here based on when you're going to connect. There's 2 double crochets here. So what I used was 2 single crochets on each side of that as I was, doing the border. And I didn't calculate, my 8 straps, the 9 by 9 equaled the 36-inch strap. When I took one strap out, now I had extra stitches in here. So I was kind of out of my head and trying to make it still work, and I think I do want to take it apart. I'm not sure. The fact that a pillow can get scrunchy down over time, and you know, maybe then the outside will look like it fits, but here is my pillow. I absolutely love the color combination. I could not be more pleased with how that came out. So on the back side, I scrunched them all so that the front would be like, looks it like it's all together. There's not too many spaces in here, but then that means that this is the back side. So if I just, you know, gave it a good fluff and let all the natural spaces lay where they will, this is what the pillow looks like. So what do you guys think? Would you take the side apart? And all I did was single crochet border, so it would be easy to kind of cut that off and start over again with a border. I mean, you know, take that out. But then I've only got one left, so I'd have to go through, I don't know if I have enough scraps, so then I would have to cut into a cake. So would you think that those sort of holes and such were just too much and you would want to undo that and redo that? I love the pillow. I love the colors. So I don't know. In talking about it with you guys and showing it to you guys, I don't know if I want to undo this because, again, it'll kind of get squishy down over time. And I think that those will come together a little bit more. But it was really fun to make, you know, when I've got pieces to put together and I've sort of engineering. I think that my dad's with me a little bit as he was an engineer. And so, you know, constructing or deciding on how pieces are going to fit and stuff, I totally enjoy that, as you guys may understand. So, excuse me. So in deciding which colors were going to go on which side and in which way and which, you know, I didn't want a blue crossing a blue kind of thing. So I guess I sort of separated my colors into some lighters and some darkers or whatever. So that's my finished project. I love it. But let me know down below if you think that those spaces are just too much and that you would undo the edges, make one more strip on each direction on both sides, and go from there, you know, to remake it. So I used a 5mm hook on that, by the way. And again, it suggested a 5.5, but I don't know, I guess in thinking that it was going to be for the pillow and you want those stitches all to be like kind of condensed, which is why the spaces that I created don't really jive. So anyway, so that sort of inspired me. Also, as I was cleaning out my area here to put things on Etsy, I came across this. I forgot it was still sitting here in a project bag. And so I will link this original video where I talk about making this project down below so that you guys can see it if you'd like to, if you haven't seen that already. But I've got a whole basket here still of scraps for it. So, oh, here's one. Okay. So this was like, I believe that this is the size that the squares were made on the tutorial. I think that's why I have this in here, so that you can see what size it was supposed to be. And I guess, I don't know, that's about 4 inches, isn't it? But I just loved these colors together. I had them for a long, long time. This is just yarn. We all know this. And I've got oodles and oodles and oodles of it. So I added to that. This is a little bitty guy that I've got left of this. This is Red Heart with Love that I got on a clearance. It was $3.47 initially, and I paid $1.50 for it in July of 2017. So I've had this one quite a while, and I decided when I was putting this together, I didn't want just the 3 just yarns, the purple, the orange, and that green together. Those are just yarns. And generally, I won't add another brand to a project like that, but this one seemed to fit very harmoniously, both in weight and structure of yarn, and I thought the color was an awesome additive, an awesome pop. So anyway, so in the failed to fabulous arena, this is why I'm going to revisit this, because I made this blanket, and in the tutorial, she gives you the count. I think it's Happy Berry, I'm not sure. But she gives you the count for your spiral, how many stitches you go around, and I think she says something to the effect of you can continue to increase as much as you want. or maybe I just took it upon myself to do that. I don't remember now. I made this last year sometime. I want to say like early spring because it's very Eastery. But anyway, so here is my blanket, and I've made a blanket or two before. I've connected squares, and I know what the, how many extra stitches to put in there to make it lay flat and things like that. But this did not work out like that. Each of the squares is kind of okay, except around the edges. So as I pulled those together to stitch together at the seams, it puckers. So it's not flat. The blanket's not flat at all. And each of the tops come kind of down into this sort of divot because the stitches aren't naturally that tall. So it's just pulling. And I have decided I'm going to take the squares apart, and I'm going to see what I need to do. If I need to add some in the corner, extra stitches in the corner of the spiral. I don't want to take the spirals down any. I like the size of the blanket and the size of the spirals. I think I just need to assist the corners to be a little bit more full so that when you're attaching them, they're not, it's not pulling at all. I think I didn't put enough in there. And, I just continued the count that we were doing through here, but I guess exponentially it didn't fit right anymore for that. So this is what I considered kind of, at first I put it out there as a fabulous, I love the square, love, love, love the square itself and the colors and the size, but I don't love the way that it's attached. So that's where the fail comes in, and I'm going to undo it and hopefully redo it to a completely fabulous state. So I'm happy about that. I'm not sure about the pillow. I don't want to redo the pillow. I love the pillow the way it is. Let me know what you think down below. And does it make sense to take it all apart like that? It's just a pillow, right? It's not like a garment that's not fitted or something like that. So, and then finally, I started to use my water cup. I love it, love it, love it. I took it to work and sat in the meeting, and everybody was reading through it while we were in the meeting. And then just before we left the room, I said, hey, I just want to point out my awesome cup. And so that was a lot of fun. So thanks again for the stickers, everybody. That was a great project for me to put together, like just a bonus, just a bonus. So yeah, so the big news about my stuff going up on Etsy, I finally bit the bullet. I finally pulled the trigger, whatever you want to say. I finally took that leap of faith. That's what it is. I don't want to talk about bullets or triggers or anything, but I took a big leap of faith. I didn't realize you had to pay $29 to even open your store at Etsy, and I was already like 9/10 of the way there. Oh, I have to pay for this. Okay, fine. But as you can see, I've got so much stuff. I've complained about not being able to sell it for a long time. So we're going to try this Etsy thing out and give it a shot. Big leap of faith. I've opened the store. I've put a few things out there. Some things I do want to price just to sell, just get rid of kind of thing. Other things, like I've put my 2 cardigans up there, and I kind of think that they're high priced, but a lot of the cardigans that I found on Etsy are like $100 or more, and mine is not. And otherwise it's just patterns that are for sale. So I really put a lot of work into that mint blue hexie cardigan and my bulky Yarn Bees Painted Canyon. I made a cardigan with pockets that I put out there. So I priced those kind of high, and I'll sit on that for a little while, and somebody else will come along and think that they're worth that price, right? So don't judge my prices, please. It's all a trial and error process. You research what other, whether it's your finished products that are on Etsy or your yarn that you put up on eBay, you research what other people are selling it for and kind of try to fit into where you feel, either like the cardigans, I'm going to stand my ground, or I'm just going to put this $1 under the last guy so that, mine's the cheapest and it'll sell, that kind of thing. So we'll see how those go. We could change prices along the way if something's not working, but I am selling yarn, and I am getting watchers on the yarn that I've put up. So In case anybody's interested, Amy Loves Crochet is the name of the Etsy store, and my eBay channel or whatever, my eBay page is my own personal that I had for a long, long time. And the name of that is Be Nice, Life Short. So it's got a little picture of my goat kind of chewing, her face is kind of sideways. If you're interested in finding any of that, I guess I'll link those down below as well. So thank you guys for your support and encouragement, whether it's just for things that I make or, you know, any of the kind comments that you put down below. It just really helps a girl's soul. So thanks so much. I appreciate your time. Have a wonderfully blessed day, and I hope you'll come back and see me again. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.